Hey, we are very excited. Brothers Osborne are here with us.
What's
John,
up? Howdy.
TJ. As we were talking about, there could not be more 3 different hairstyles, I think.
I know.
So if the band left 20 years from now or to, like a sitcom that's failing, need a third member, I guess I could join. But,
all right, we'll remember that.
They brought in the bald guy.
You're rocking that look, I must say.
I try.
You wear it well.
You have to go sleeveless, though.
Well, I got to get the guns going. That's the summer project.
Oh, right on, bro.
I'll make that happen for sure.
The bandana on the head. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I need the motorcycle. I got a lot of work to do.
You got Chuck Taylors?
No.
Oh man, you don't have Chuck Taylors? You
don't.
got a long way to go.
They hurt my Achilles when I'm in them. I get like Achilles. I'm falling apart.
Damn.
You guys come talk to us. You were like, I wake up. You're on the Today Show. You did Seth Meyers last night.
Yeah.
When you guys do those shows, do you get in a rhythm? Are you used to it, or is it like reinventing the wheel every time?
We are so not used to it. I mean, it's our first time ever doing it, and exactly like you said, trying to get that rhythm is so important when you're performing live or you're doing an interview, even like this, and going into something that's so foreign to you. It is hard to kind of feel that way, and I just had to kind of tell myself in my head, I just try to think of it as almost like playing the sound check, because it's weird. You'll do a sound check when the cameras aren't rolling and you are calm and you roll right through it like you would. And then all of a sudden when it's go time, particularly on the Today Show where it's live, it's like a deer in the headlights feeling almost. And you're like, all right, I just need to just chill out and perform this, but
just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
There are
but
no cameras.
It's weird. I mean, because even if you are used to that, you never really perform in those scenarios very much. You're not performing to an audience.
It's sort of ironic. You're introducing yourself to the biggest audience you've ever had at one time. millions of people,
and you can't see
the most uncomfortable situation you've ever been in.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. What's interesting is that everyone there is so comfortable and relaxed because it's their environment. It's their comfort zone, and so when they're all just kind of casually hanging out and shooting a TV show while we're literally losing our minds and trying to pretend like we're actually holding it together.
Like, oh, they're cool. I'll be cool. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to be cool.
You're cool, man. You're cool.
You're cool.
Congratulations on the album Pawn Shop. That
Thank
I think it's going to end up being #1 this week.
Hope so.
Now,
Hope so.
the question is, have you walked into a pawn shop to see how much it's actually worth?
Not yet.
I'm sure it will eventually wind up in a
I
pawn
hope
shop.
they haven't hit pawn shops already.
Yes, I know. That would be very
That would be a serious problem.
That's what
But
the
if it
market
were
value
there,
is
I
right
would
now.
buy it. So stock up pawn shops.
Yeah.
We'll buy the record if we see it.
I just to go through that album, and I think about the first time I saw you guys. It was at the Bitter End a couple years ago down in
was
the
cool.
Village. And as you're on stage, it was such a neat experience because you're so close, and you almost, felt like you're on stage with you guys. I thought, this is it's something different. There's nothing on the radio that sounds like this. I know, you guys got this amazing band and this, I couldn't really put my finger on what it was. I just loved the way it sounded, the way you guys were on stage, and to be able to translate that into an album. It's just got to be, what a week for you guys right now.
Yeah, it has been a really, really intense week for us. In so many great ways. Our single Stay a Little Longer is doing well. Look like it may hit #1 this week if it's going to. So we're really excited. It's at 2 right now, and it's it's crazy just to even have a song in the top 20 and then a top 10, a top 5, and we've worked really hard for it. And as you know, we've been making the rounds. So it's cool that it's all finally kind of paying off. We put a record out. Then we're nominated for a Grammy on that song, and all this happening, playing the Today Show and the Seth Meyers Show to kick off to 2016. It's kind of crazy. It set the bar really high for us.
I know it's a crazy January. I'll say that. Usually Januaries we have 2 gigs and that's it. And so far we're exhausted and we're only halfway through.
Do you get? At this point in the game, and you're doing interviews, and you're here, do you get adrenaline fatigue? Because there is such a thing.
Very much, yeah.
We're just oh my gosh, I just need a minute to collect myself.
That happened last night to me. I know that. Because you sit around all day, it's kind of a hurry up and wait. So you get there and you sound check, you run it a couple times to get the levels right, to get the cameras right. And then you sit around and wait, and you kind of just get bored after a while. And then you get in front of the cameras and you go. And the song is it's around 4 minutes long or something, but it's really intense. Your emotions are racing, your adrenaline's pumping, and then it goes by in an instant, and once it's over, you immediately feel like you just want to lay down because it's really, really intense.
Yeah, that is a thing. I don't know if people have, where you just can't function in some ways. You just feel drained, and so you may pass out at any moment during this interview.
Exactly.
Possible as well. Talk about the song Stay a Little Longer, or Stay Up a Little Longer.
Exactly.
Little insight. But when you're writing it with Shane McAnally, who at some points it feels like he's got every other song on the radio is written by Shane. Yeah. When you're writing that with him, did you in that moment think, there's something here. There's something. This could be a big single. This could,
we felt really good about it. It's hard as a songwriter. You kind of feel like your newest song is always your best song, and it's hard to kind of really take a step back and evaluate it because you'll love it over the song that's 4 years old when maybe that 4-year-old song really is the better song. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of really realized it really was something great when we'd recorded it several times. We did a demo. We did a version that we recorded for a record that never got put out. That's the version that went on the EP.
Yeah.
And then we recorded it a third time with Jay Joyce, which is the current single that most people are familiar with. And every time we recorded it, it always worked. It always worked acoustically. The crowds, before they even knew it or even knew who we were responding to it. And we just knew that it was something that out of all of our songs was going to be one of the more unique songs that we had.
That's a song I remember hearing it, and again, it was another spot in the city that you did, and it's one of those songs. Just hearing it, it was just the two of you on a guitar. I think you had a percussion, and you could just hear like the song. And then when you hear it on the radio, the weight, like you said, in all sort of format settings, it just transfers so well.
Yeah,
and it was particularly great, that song, and why I love it so much is that it really showcases both me singing and John playing guitar, and that's something that early on was kind of a harder thing for us because it's obviously, being a singer, it's easy for me to get out there and have my moment to sing the verses and choruses, but trying to have a moment for the guitar to come out and be just as part of the song as my singing is, and when we think that stay a little longer definitely gave us that opportunity, which was cool.
A couple weeks ago, we saw you at Irving Plaza, and you did this song that when I got the album, I wanted to check it out. It Ain't My Fault.
Yeah.
That live, just because it's this moving and the crowd's into it, and it's sort of this real rock thing. And you guys seem to really enjoy playing that one live.
Yeah, that's
too.
kind of one of our new favorites at the moment. That's actually the very last on our record, Pawn Shop. We got a text right before we got here saying, "I love that you put my favorite song last at the end of your record," which means I have to listen to the whole thing to get there. And that's kind of why we did that, because we knew we had something really cool, really different, and we wanted to make the album as wide as possible. We didn't want to front load it, And that's become one of our new favorites to perform live because it's really anthemic, really big, and the band just absolutely kills it. I don't know. I'd say that's like one of our new favorites. It changes a lot, but right now that's one.
Yeah, and that song too. We kind of thought about it. What's really a super unique thing about that song is that we were just talking about it. We thought it was really cool in the pop world. They'll have like 2 or 3 choruses in a song. There won't be one chorus that keeps coming, and that song has there's kind of 2 choruses that come earlier, and then the third, we think it's going to be the third time, is a different chorus that comes again, and then there's a kind of a chanty part that becomes another chorus. So there's almost like 3 different choruses in that one song, which I think is really unique.
The other song too, when I think about you guys in the studio, had to be like a wow, this escalated quickly moment, is the song with Ann Womack.
Yeah.
The Loving Me Back.
Totally.
I mean, for you, was that a moment when you're like, we're doing a song with Ann Womack?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
This is getting pretty real.
Yeah. I mean, it was a crazy thing. We were the biggest thing we really wanted to do with that song is that a lot of we've grown up listening to country and blues and rock, and it kind of all comes out in our music the way it, I think our sound is just a product of all the music we listened to growing up. And so sometimes people will, they get on social media and will tell us that's not country music, and which is really annoying to me because we love country music and we grew up listening to country music and perform country music, and we certainly have rock elements, but that's something that I definitely take seriously. So when it came time to record, we really wanted a country song to show everyone, look, we'll rock out too, but we love country and we can perform country and write it, and I hope that we do it well. And so we were just like, all right, we need one more thing to really set this over the top. And we got Ask Leanne. We certainly didn't expect her to say yes, but she did. And within a week, she was in there singing it, and it was really an amazing experience. I mean, someone we're been huge fans of for so long, and she was so cool and so great. She nailed it on like the first take, but we made her sing it like four more times.
One take Womack, huh?
One take Womack. That's a really
say that 5 times fast. One take.
That's a really
Womack.
good nickname. It was so wild hearing her sing, because we have our headphones on and we're hearing her sing in the mix, and it sounds incredible. And then we pull them off, and we're hearing her voice in the room soloed, and it was like, wow. There's like so many memories that come from hearing that voice. We've listened to it for so long, and she is without a doubt one of the best singers of a country song that has walked the earth.
So good.
The album, I mean, everybody's going to ask this. I'm sure you've answered it a million times, but Pawn Shop. Why'd you pick it out? Your history with pawn shops? I mean, where's it come from?
Well, I mean, it's it's a song on the record, obviously, and we just that song in itself is only about a pawn shop, and we've just really liked things that are just a little bit different, or said differently, or things that aren't said at all. So we just kind of thought about the first things when you hear pawn shop, the kind of visuals it puts you in, and the frame of mind you kind of go to, or really kind of a lot of what make up that record. I mean, there's a lot of different material in there. So we kind of run the gamut of so many things, where some of the songs are bluesy, some of the songs are really country, some of the songs are more rock influenced, and we wanted that that just kind of felt like Pawn Shop was the way to really sum up that whole thing. It's just a bunch of different randomness all in one store.
It's like you said, random. I mean, the sound, but it all seems to work together. And I really would love for people to check out the album. The numbers say a lot of people are. The guys seem to be a part of it. Not to talk about other people's music, but I think you're part of this side of country that I almost think of as pyro free, so to speak.
I like that. Yeah.
There's some instruments, and not that 10 years from now you guys aren't going to be stadiums. You might have pyros, and that's fine. But there is something about the last couple of years with music, and it was about stage and production, and that's fantastic. But it always comes back to the music.
Yeah, it always does.
And I think you guys are really in that sweet spot and leading that charge with some other people. I think like Maren Morris and a list of other acts too. So we're so happy that you're a part of it.
Well, I think we're really lucky. I think one of the things that we did not do is change over the last 3 years. I mean, we've been putting out music now for a few years now, and it was a struggle at first because our music didn't necessarily fit, exactly with what was hot at the moment. But the team of people that we have, from our label to our management, were very supportive and letting us write our own music, let us be ourselves, and just kind of wait our turn. And hopefully, it seems like music is definitely, country music anyway, is moving to a much more authentic, genuine place that doesn't necessarily need pyro. It's becoming more about the song, and the subtleties of the genre that actually make it so great. Yeah. And I think we're really lucky. I think the timing right now is really good.
It was really hard. I mean, coming out, and there was artists that were coming out in radio and having bigger songs than us that hadn't even been signed as long, and it was really frustrating to see some of this, some of the songs in our minds that were pretty the kind of more the express way to getting a big number one. But we just kind of felt like we have to stick to what we're doing. If we change our sound to try to get success, it's inevitably going to fall apart. So at the end of the day, we just thought, all right, let's do something we love, and at the end we can go home with our head held high that we at least did it on our terms. And so luckily, after I guess a couple of years, the tide seemed to be changing, and there's what we predicted all along. There's a huge fan base out there that wants to hear something different, and we've definitely seen that recently.
What was it? It just, quick. Were there things that you suggested to you, like to change? As far as did they say shave a beard? Did they say
no? Well, everyone in our group of people, I think there's a mutual respect. We respect them for what they do because we can't do that, and they respect us for what we do. And they wouldn't have signed us; they wouldn't be working with us. I don't think if they didn't respect it. And also, most importantly, my brother and I are by far the most stubborn people you'll ever meet in your life. So you're going to fight a losing battle. Exactly. So just deal with it.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on the Grammy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And hopefully a number one single. I can't see that not happening. And the album Pawn Shop, make sure you get out and get it. Brothers Osborne, John, TJ, thanks for talking to us.
So, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't change.